Sweet, that's recording. G'day everyone. Remember, if you like the video or what you're listening to, please like and subscribe. That'd be awesome. All right, quick word from the sponsors. FIFO by Aaron Weston. Hilarious novel about all the dodgy stuff that happens up in doing FIFO. Available at Aaron Weston Author Instagram account and Facebook page. For the kids, on Children's Books by Aaron White on Facebook and Instagram. Just click on the shop now button. You got Australian Mining Machines, Australian Paramedics, Australian Surf Lifesavers, Australian Police Vehicles, Australian Firefighters. And you got a couple more, but I've just sold out, waiting for more stock. Should arrive the next couple of days. All right. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Aaron White Show. Today, I have a fantastic guest, Lorenz, our Matador, Araneda. I stuffed that up.
Araneda.
Araneda. I knew I was going to stuff that. Yeah, Lorenz is a MMA fighter, and yeah, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
You're most welcome. Hey, today I just want to hear your story, like how and where you grew up, any life-changing events, and how you end up doing what you're doing today.
Well, as you guys know, my name's Lorenz Araneda. I'm 20 years old, and I was born and raised in Sydney, but moved here, I think, 2012. At the moment, I work full-time as a landscaper, and obviously on the side, I'm a full-time MMA fighter. Life-changing events, it would have to be MMA, my man. Because of that, it's because I met Dave Johnson, who is my coach, by the way. He just turned everything around for me. I started off, I think, I sit around 77. I started off at 95, 100 kgs, just overweight, depressed, and just lacked heaps of confidence, and I was very self-conscious of myself. But then obviously, as I said, I found Dave. He just turned everything around for me, and he gave me obviously a skill set within fighting, but he gave me a skill set mentally to just become strong and overpower just myself by using that mentality. He just gave me that grit, that determination, happiness, and I think he gave me a lot of peace as well. And I think it's cool because me and Dave are quite similar in that like aspect. We're very just quiet, but we like to get things done. So we were able to meet head to head with each other on that. But I think Dave was the person that just changed everything for me, and he opened that gym up, and being able to walk into that gym just happily now with all the because our gym, Strike MMA, is just very it's just very welcoming, just very family orientated. So I'm always able to go in with a smile and not have any fear whatsoever. Yeah, so MMA it was crazy how it kicked off. I remember I was a month into training. Dave actually said to me, "Do you want to fight?" I was like, "Oh, okay. Sure. All right, I'll fight." And I remember, I only trained for 1 month. He got me in on a Saturday, took me to this sparring event, and I think the first 30 seconds, I just got tapped out by some big dude. And I remember saying to him, "I want to be an MMA fighter." That was it. And from then on, it just picked up. We just started training every day. We just grinded constantly, and it was insane. And now here I am, MMA fighter, 4 fights, 3 losses, 1 win. A lot of learning curves, and a lot of those learning curves, I've adjusted to them, and I figured out how to overcome them, which is really cool. MMA for me is it's going to sound cliche, but I see it as a career now. I know I'm only an MMA, and I say cliche because I'm only an amateur, but the way I want to head is a professional, so I want to keep it as a profession when I'm older. And because I say that because I'm constantly in the gym. I try and outwork, everyone because of where I came from, and I'm very disciplined within myself with how I train and how I eat. And, it's just where I want to head. Within saying all this, I still struggle mentally. I battle with myself quite a bit. I remember my last fight, which was, I think, February 13th, which wasn't longer. I think it was a month ago. March. Yeah, a month ago. I remember just waking, like I had this amazing fight camp, me, Dave, and then one of our other boys, Caleb Steinockel, he fought on that night as well. We just grinded. And then I remember on fight day, I just looked in the mirror and I just put so much disbelief in myself just because I was thinking about I wasn't scared of my opponent. I was just more jealous in the fact that he had just such a masculine body, and I was quite skinny. So I kind of put a lot of disbelief in myself, and then I kind of tried to leave it, didn't say anything. I just went on with the fight. I felt good leading up to the fight, and then obviously I lost to a decision, which is still a big thing for me. I didn't get finished or anything, so it was a big bonus for me. But I remember talking to Dave, and he just said, you're gonna explain those things to him because he can, just word it out for me and just say all the correct things, which is very right. And I learned a lot of things after that fight, and one of them is not to put disbelief in myself before a fight because it doesn't work. But yeah, as I said, I'm still working on myself mentally. Trying to see a counselor, reading a lot more. So that's good here and there. But MMA is a really good sport because you're always constantly being tested. I remember watching a podcast. I think it was Joe Rogan. And he said, imagine cameras being on you every day. That's pretty much how you have to be. You just always have to perform, whether you're in training or in the cage. There's always people watching. So it's cool because there's always someone coming in, someone new that always wants to challenge you, that always wants to spar you, wrestle you. So you always have to be ready, and you always have to be fit for everything. So it's a pretty crazy lifestyle. I never thought I'd be able to do it because I was never a fighter. I was always a lover. But yeah, just being able to, adjust to that lifestyle and just constantly grind is what's made me who I am. And I think that's solely because of Dave. And obviously a big part of that factor is my support system I have with my family and my girlfriend. They always just push me to do the things I don't want to do, which is a good thing because that's what MMA is about. You always have to do things you don't want to do. You're constantly fearful of the adversities you have to face up front. And yeah, there's nothing like it once you do something that you don't want to do and you've done it and you've just overcome it. It means the world to you. So I think every day is a win when you put in work for just whether it's for a fight or whether it's not for a fight. You always have to work real hard. So it's cool. Yeah, it's where I'm at the moment.
Has it encouraged you to do other stuff to push yourself outside your limits? Like, do you want to go skydiving now or bungee jumping or anything crazy like that, which you maybe wouldn't have done previous to this?
Yeah, I've actually thought about it a couple of times doing like skydiving. I've always been super scared of doing something like that. Me and my dad have talked about it actually. I think being able to go out and talk to people as well is something that is really hard for me. So I've started doing that a lot more, going out a lot more and just having a drink and seeing some friends. Because my family always tell me, just go out, do something, let loose a bit. Because I'm always very like full steam ahead with my training. I'm always like, oh, okay, I need to do this, need to do that. I can't go out, do this. I can't talk to people. I'm just too scared to talk to people sometimes. And yeah, that's where I've kind of just built myself to start communicating with other people. And if I just see someone on the street that hasn't seen me, I'll just say hello. So yeah, it definitely has. It definitely has like made me think about doing stuff crazy and also doing things that are quite just because I'm very introvert, just very extrovert, so I think that's the word, extrovert.
When you're introvert, when you're extrovert, you're like, hey, look at me, how you going?
Yeah, that's it.
You're
Yeah,
obviously
like
you're probably all quiet and by yourself.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm very introvert, but I want to be more extrovert. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's really good.
Why are you scared of talking to people? Do you think they're going to judge you, or are you scared of what they say back, or they don't talk back? What's going on in your head?
I think I'm just very nervous. Like I really struggle to keep a conversation going, and I'm also like I'm scared. I'm like, oh, what if they think of this of me? Yeah, like but I'm slowly starting to understand how to just be more myself. You know, each time I've talked, like I've talked to someone and they just like kind of just laugh at me, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is awesome. Like, so I'm slowly getting more and more comfortable. Like I've kind of done this myself. Like my family have told me, and then I've just gone ahead and just started like introducing myself to people or seeing people that I haven't seen in a while and talking to them. So yeah, slowly becoming like better and better. I struggle some days. Some days I just walk away, and then other days I'm just like, oh yeah, I really want to try and talk to him. So yeah, it's I think it's more myself and yeah, how I carry myself sometimes. But yeah, it is a bit of a struggle.
Where do you think it all started from? Was it when you were overweight or before that, or?
Yeah, I think it was before I started MMA. It was just, I don't know, it was just really hard for me, and I think depression runs in my family, so I think it's just kind of just been put onto me a bit with like depression, anxiety, and you know, just self-conscious. So yeah, I think it just started from there. But I'm slowly, I'm slowly raising the bar with it. Like before I used to be down here, now I'm like all the way up here. So it's good, there's always, you can just see yourself learning and achieving those little goals. And they mean, to be honest, they mean a lot to me. They mean the world to me. So I'm just that kind of person, always tries to do my best, whether it's with fighting or with talking, so it's always it's either the big things or the little things. I always try my best to do, to do my best. So
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, because we pick up a lot from like our parents and the people that are around us. And you said that depression and anxiety run in your family. So you're saying like your mum and dad or family members are depressed, and now you've taken that on?
Yeah. I don't know if I've taken it on or if they've just like, it's kind of just been passed on to me. Like, I don't know how to say, like physically maybe, like it just, yeah, I don't know. But I mean, I wouldn't say I'm as, like, I wasn't, like, I'm not depressed now. I'm clear from that. Like, it was just, I think it was just like a little phase, maybe, I don't know, for maybe a year or two where I was just picking out and just doing things, that I was doing because I was bored and I didn't really have a life. But now obviously that's changed with MMA. But yeah, I wouldn't know how to explain it. But I would say I've got a bit of anxiety, but that's probably about it, to be honest. But yeah.
Yeah, because I wonder if you do physically pick these things up by your parents and stuff, like if it is hereditary or because you see them doing it. Because like a
Yeah.
classic example was, what was it? My brother-in-law, one of my brother-in-laws, he started when he was nervous. So his kid started stuttering when he was nervous, but there's nothing wrong with that kid physically, because like later on he stopped stuttering, but I'm pretty sure he was just picking it up because he was looking at his parent as a role model going, oh, this is something, this is how I'm supposed to act. So he started stuttering when, so
Oh, that's crazy. Yeah.
I wonder if yours was physical or with, it kind of looks to me as if it was psychological, because now that you went to MMA and you've changed, you haven't changed anything physically, you just changed it mentally. So you've got that confidence now by doing it MMA training. So I don't know whether it was physical or not. What age were you when you started MMA?
I think I was 17. I was like halfway through. Yeah, I was halfway through 2017, and I think it was April I started doing MMA. Yeah, I think that was it.
And why did you go there?
My dad forced me to.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just like, Lorenz, because actually I was actually a high level soccer player. I was meant to go to like South America to do trials for like pro clubs and such. And during that time, I was obviously battling mentally, and I just wasn't performing. So he was like, "Man, you need to get your ass into MMA," and it just picked up from there. And MMA just took over that football lifestyle, and I just quit playing football and chose MMA. So yeah, that's why I started it. That's exactly why I started it.
It sounds like a lot. Like the parents just go, nah, you're not sitting around here doing this. You're getting your ass in there. So they take you in there, and then lots of times people don't like it straight away. Did you like it straight away, or did you just like be intimidated?
Actually, no, I didn't like it. I did a couple of the teenager classes. obviously, and Natalia was here. I think about 2 weeks ago. I trained with her. I met her, and then some of the younger dudes. But it started from there, and then I remember Dave kind of just forced me to go into. It was like a Wednesday night. Me and my dad were watching the adults fight team, and Dave just told me to get up, and I was like, I'm not getting up. I'll come. I'm just gonna sit here. I said to him. He was like, No, come on, you're getting up. And I just looked at my dad like I freaked out. And then I remember I just started training with him from then, and yeah, there was I think it was 3 months into it. I just wanted to give up. I remember just sitting down. I got beat up real bad. I just like laid on the floor, just cried because I was just getting hammered. But obviously that skill set slowly started to come in. I just started figuring out how to beat people. So yeah, it didn't start off nicely. It sucked. But as soon as I started figuring out ways to like just move people around and just be able to dominate, I started enjoying it more. So yeah, it didn't start off nice, but it slowly just picked up and I started enjoying it.
Yeah, that sounds like the same story, like what happens with everyone. So, all right, so
Yeah.
you want to become a professional. Have you got a game plan on how you're actually going to become that?
Well, I would, because you have to have there's not really like, they're pretty like, it's pretty like, how would I say it? Wouldn't that, it's pretty blunt. Like you do your 6 fights and then you can go pro if you want. That's pretty much what you can do. But my goal is I want to be a complete fighter. So like, I want to, like at the moment, I have goals. Like I was meant to fight June 5th, I think. March, April, May, June. Yeah, June 5th. And I actually messaged Dave yesterday telling him I'm going to turn it down because I want to work on getting bigger and stronger before I fight again. And just have a bit more of a mental switch, just a bit more of an ego when I go into those fights. So I'm slowly adjusting to that. But my game plan is probably just to do at least maybe 15 fights before I turn pro. And I kind of want to have a bit of a streak going before I do, an amateur streak. So before I go pro, I have all the confidence in the world, you know? So, yeah, I mean, Dave's like, I think Dave's really, he's just on board with it. So that kind of helps me as well. So he's very relaxed if I say this or that, he listens to me. So, yeah, so that's my game plan at the moment. But who knows? Like, I don't know the future. Anything can change, you know. So I could do 10 fights and go. I could do 5 fights, start getting a win streak next fight, and just go from there. But the game plan is to have at least 15 to 20 fights, and then just eventually hit pro.
So you're saying you do your 6 fights and then you go pro. So what is it? Just once you got 6 fights, you can fill out a bit of paperwork and that you're automatically pro? Is that all it is?
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. And they just start giving you pro fights, and you have to obviously start getting ready for pro fights. Yeah, it sounds a bit bizarre to me as well. I wasn't, because yeah, they say you can have 6 fights and you can do whatever you want really, but yeah, you can either stay or you can go pro. But yeah, you have to. I think it's a bit of paperwork, and then you're just a pro from then on. Yeah,
Can you have 6 losses and then become pro?
I think you can. I think you can. No, I'm being honest. I think you can, but I wouldn't know because I know like I've watched some UFC fighters. They've had like terrible records in the amateur, and then they go pro and they're just killing everybody. So it's a bit weird. I don't know how it works, but yeah, I'm still figuring it out myself.
So with your friend base now, you sound like you're coming into that personal development type stage. Are you surrounding yourself with like other fighters, other positive people? Are you trying to stay away from negative type people as friends and stuff?
Oh yeah, 100%. There's a lot of people that yeah, that are that way that I have as friends. I've kind of just moved them out of my life that weren't doing the right things, maybe just doing a bit of drugs or just like just drinking every night. So I kind of steered away from that. And just the friend base I have now is really good. Yeah, majority of them are fighters because I've obviously traveled to different. I'm traveling to different gyms as well to train just to get some more sparring, not to leave Strike MMA, just to purely get more sparring and just pick other people's heads. But yeah, I've created a good friend base from doing that, and I've met a whole bunch of lovely people. They're animals in the cage and in the ring, but they're such beautiful people outside. And then yeah, just obviously from work, I have a couple of real good friends from there that I hang out with every now and then, and I'm slowly starting to I've met people and trying to organize plans with them as well. So yeah, but yeah, majority of them are from fighting through fighting. So
And you said you're going to a counselor, and you're listening to that Joe Rogan podcast. Do you do other mental type exercises? Like, do you listen to other podcasts or read books or do the cold shower or anything?
I do meditating.
Yeah.
Meditating helps for me, and I think a bit of stretching while listening to music helps for me as well. I haven't I'm a bit up and down with it. I'm not as consistent as I am with my MMA and stuff, but I do it here and there, whenever I feel like I need it. But yeah, I do other things like that. So yeah, it works for me. Other people, I think I actually like cold showers or ice baths as well. I do that quite a bit. But yeah, I do a couple of things that really help me. Also, there's this my sister. Whenever I get anxiety or whenever she gets anxiety, she says just thank God for the things you have, and I've started doing that as well. That really helps me, and I'm like, oh, okay, thank you for this, thank you for that, and it helps. I just start forgetting about all the stuff, all the stress and anxiety that's in me, and I just breathe it out and just say it out loud. So that helps a lot for me. I think I do that more than any of that other stuff. So
yeah, it's a big one in the personal development space. The gratitude, people have gratitude journals. So as you were saying, if you are feeling down, start listing out all the things that you actually are grateful for.
Yeah.
So I ask you quite a few different things. Do you try to psych out your opponents? How you get all that trash talking and all that type of stuff, or are you a bit quiet? Or how does that work?
I do. I've the first 3 fights I left it, but the fourth fight I did that a bit. Funny enough, I actually got a couple messages from his mates, just talking a lot of smack to me, which I wasn't really expecting it. But I mean, it didn't really change my thought process. I was very head on. But yeah, I kind of just posted a couple things just to kind of get in his head. And we were actually talking during the fight. I had him up against the cage and I was just talking to him a bit. But yeah, me and Dave have kind of added that as a little aspect of fighting, just to a little skill set, just to talk to people during the fights and before the fight. So yeah, that's something I've started doing. I even do it during my fight camps with Dave. I start talking a bit of trash to him. So it's fun. It's very fun. I like to do it now. It's I don't know, it's just a playful thing. It kind of makes me see the play side of MMA, because I take it too serious sometimes. So I've started trying to ease off and just trying to be real playful with it, and that kind of helps. So yeah, I do a bit of it now.
Well, it seems like it's a pretty big thing. When you see the professional MMA fights, that's why Conor McGregor's so popular. If he didn't do all the trash talking, he wouldn't be a third of what he is now. It's because Anthony Bourdain's a good one for it. Basically, everybody gonna stuff at the wording of this, but basically, if he was all quiet, it'd just be another boxing match. But he says absolutely stupid stuff, so then he gets everybody hating him. So if people hate him, they'll go buy a ticket just to watch his fight, hoping that he gets his head smashed in. So he's actually very smart by saying stupid stuff to make people hate him, because it makes ticket sales go up. So it is a good little technique for you guys when you do go professional. If you start trash talking your opponent. But what's funny is I think Conor McGregor and was it Mayweather when he fought? I'm pretty sure they had a game plan to trash talk the crap out of each other. So then everyone's like, we'll be massive fight. They hate each other. Then afterwards, they're all celebrating together, going we just made moves off you idiots. So it's actually It's very smart, all the different ways they do things.
Yeah. No, I think the I guess that's what you call businessmen in the like as a professional. They're very smart in what they do. Like I think everyone sees it. Some people don't, but a lot of people do see it. Like I think just being able to like put that in and then just making money off purely trash talking, not necessarily the fight, but purely trash talking is insane. Like I think that's ridiculous, but they do it so well, especially like McGregor and Mayweather. They got millions of money from doing that. McGregor didn't even fight for a year or two because of that. He had so much money, he didn't have to fight. But yeah, that just shows how much money you can make off something so little, I would say. So it's pretty cool.
It definitely is. How do you go about dropping weight?
So in what sense?
Like, is it really like? I've watched that Kingdom, I think it is. That have you watched that? That MMA fighting TV series?
Yeah.
They're like almost torturing their bodies. They're sweating it out, just trying to get rid of like that last little like milligram or just trying to get cut. They're doing. You think they're doing harm to their bodies, which whether they are or not, I don't have a clue. Do you guys torture yourselves like trying to make weight that way, or is it not that bad?
It's not as bad as it depends. Some people either drop 8 kilos, some people drop 4 kilos. 8 kilos is obviously an unhealthy way to do it on fight week, but if you're dropping under 5 kilos full fight week, then I think you're really good. Because the way I see it, Dave has his ways, and then obviously I have, like, me and my dad kind of look at different ways as well. But you would drop a couple kilos during your fight camp. Like, just say you have a 4-month fight camp, you stretch out, just say every month, like, I want to drop 3 kilos, So, yeah, but on fight week, normally I'll try and sit, because I fight at 70 kgs, I'll try to sit at 74 before fight week. Yeah. And then you start water loading. So water loading is like, you start drinking a lot of water, like you'll say 7 liters of water on the day, just to flush all the fluids out that are from your body from just say the previous nights. And that just kind of gets your weight down, because obviously you have a lot of water in your system, so you want to get as much out as you can. And within water you have 3 meals, and within those 3 meals you have, just say, like, maybe roughly 50 grams of carbs. So to be honest, I don't eat carbs like on that fight week, but like a little portion of carbs, and then just as much greens as you want, and just protein, plain protein. But that's all week. And then each day it decreases. So you say, just like on the Tuesday you have 5 liters of water or 3 liters of water, and just like small 3 portions of whatever you want to eat, as long as it's healthy and it's got nothing in it. And you also have to take your sodiums out, your sugars out. I take my carbs out. You don't have to. You have to have, like I said, 50 grams. And then just, what else? There's just a lot of like the little things that you would see at the back of a tomato sauce bottle, for example. You wouldn't put tomato sauce on what you're eating on that week. So yeah, I mean, people do it dumb, or some people do it smart. So there's ways, like there's safe and healthy ways, and there's unhealthy and unsafe ways, and that's a healthy and safe way. It's a bit weird if you don't understand fighting, or if you're not a fighter. I think it's a bit hard to understand. But yeah, it's not easy. It's still not easy, but if you're doing it right, then you're doing it right. I think I saw this chick on Saturday. No, Friday, she was, for the UFC, she was cutting weight, and she got on the scale and she just collapsed. And that just showed she was cutting way too much weight she was trying to make too much, like a weight category that she struggled to make weight in. She probably didn't even make weight. I don't know if she did or not, but yeah, it's just dangerous. That's why the sport commission have like so many rules coming out. Like you have to be healthy, or have this much water in your system before you weigh in, like blah, 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 all this. So I think what they're doing is good, because people are trying to just go to the extreme when they shouldn't. I think they should just be, like, obviously it's it's their life. But I mean, there's always smart ways of doing things, you know, like going up a weight class, for example. But yeah, that's how it works. It's pretty much how it works.
So once you've made weight, how is the fight the next day, or have you got a couple of days before the fight, or what?
No, the fight. So the fight's the next day. The fight's the next day. So you get 24 hours to drink and eat, pretty much, and just put on as much as you want. I struggle to put on a lot. I struggle to put on weight. I would like to put on just say 5 kilos in 24 hours, but I only put on like 2.5, 3 kilos. It's so hard for me. Like I sit around 77, and if I could get back up to 77, that'd be awesome. But I only get up to like 72, 73. But yeah, obviously you don't eat like a burger the night before the fight or like pasta. You eat like just light things like chicken, a bit of potato, some meat, or a protein shake even, and just sip on water all throughout the night and day before the fight. So yeah. Well, that's for MMA. I don't know what it's like. I think for boxing, you fight and weigh in on the same day, so you can't really eat or drink too much. But yeah, that's how they do it for MMA. So.
Oh, sweet. And are you guys drug tested before each fight, or?
We do. So we get tested every 6 months. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, they're drug tests. I don't know what else that would be. Drug tests, steroid tests, I think. Anyways, I wouldn't know. I just go and get them done, to be honest. But yeah, so it's every 6 months. You just get tested. Yeah.
That's not too bad. And before the fight, do you have like pre-workout, or do you smash a Monster, or you try not to have any energy drinks, or?
I don't know what other fighters are like. I take a bit of fruit and maybe a Powerade here and there just to get my electrolytes up a bit more. But yeah, that's all I do. I don't know what other people are like. Maybe some people take Red Bulls. I don't know. People have weird ways of doing things.
Yeah. I was going through your post last night as well, so I was all up to date on you. And you had something about music, like you used to listen to quite heavy music, and now you've toned it down to I'm guessing a bit more chilled out music. Like you don't have to amp yourself up so much for training.
Yeah, it's a bit weird. I just felt like I needed to like just have like a mindset where like I need to kill him, things like that, you know, just which I think you do once you're in the cage, but before the fight, like I like to be relaxed. You know, a lot of people like that, just like nice and easy and just calm before the fight. You know, to be honest, I don't even listen to music backstage anymore. Because I'm like, it's just easier for me to focus. It's a bit hard because you can hear you're getting your hands wrapped, and then you can hear just the crowd going crazy in the back. But yeah, you really try and focus as much as you can. But yeah, it's good because in the back you get to laugh with some of the guys that you've never even met before, like the other fighters and the other coaches, and then you have your team and you talk to some of the other guys, and then yeah, obviously yeah, you can listen to music or you can't, but yeah, I went through a stage of just listening to hardcore music, but now I'm just very zen with it. I like to just relax and breathe and go through my time. Like it's like meditating pretty much. Yeah. So it's either I do or I don't listen to music.
And how do you go with the crowd? Like when you're walking out there, it must be like kind of off-putting, or does it amp you up, or?
Honestly, if I'm honest, it kind of just like, it just makes me feel like just makes me feel like a freaking crazy person, to be honest, because I know majority of the crowd would never step in a cage. So I think just every time I step in the cage, I feel like I'm so cool.
Yeah.
I'm such a cool dude. Yeah. So it amps me up heaps. Like I walk out and some people would just be like giving me tap on the hand or on the head. So it makes me feel really cool doing that. It already makes me feel like a professional, if I'm honest. So it's cool.
Do you visualize yourself? Like, I know you say do meditation. Do you visualize yourself being in the proper MMA cage up there? Dana White or whatever. Has
Oh yeah.
Australia got MMA? Like that's like that big?
I think at the moment, Eternal, which is what I find is probably the biggest MMA show at the moment, because we're on, because we our professionals fight on UFC Fight Pass, so they're pretty much connected to, like, so the UFC can see us now. So like whenever we fight, they don't put obviously the amateurs in on the TV, but they do with the professionals. But yeah, we're pretty much out there at the moment. Like a lot of fighters come from the Gold Coast or from Brazil to come fight on our show. So we're actually pretty like worldwide based. Like everyone can see us now since we're on UFC Fight Pass. Everyone can see us, but I do visualize a lot, and it's mainly because of how much work I put in. If I didn't put in work, then I would be like, nah, I'm not gonna make it. But I mean, I pretty much train 7 times a week, so that just says a lot about where I want to get to. And I think being able to train like that, it kind of just puts that I can do this, like I can make it there. I can push through. I just have to stick it out as much as I can, but I can definitely get there if I just keep working, So I definitely do visualize big things.
Where are you hoping to see yourself in, like, say, 3 years or something?
At the moment, just as a professional, I don't know where, but a professional is where I want to be. Whether it's on the Eternal cards or in the UFC cards, I want to be a professional. I don't see myself up there yet. Maybe 3 years, maybe 5 years. I can definitely see myself if I just keep putting on work. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm still young. A majority of the fighters that are up there now are like 30, so I've still got quite a bit of time. But like I said, like no one knows the future. It could either happen earlier or later. So, but yeah, that's where I see it at the moment.
Does it help if you move eastern states or to America, or you're fine in WA?
I'm not too sure, right? But all I know is that we got a good fan base. I would say, just like with the people that know us now, like we know a lot of gyms. Like there's a dude that fights in Perth, and he's a pro, and he's got the belt at the moment for Eternal, and he's pretty close to, like, going up to the UFC. I wouldn't be surprised if he got a contract now. So yeah, I don't know if it matters or not. But if it did, then obviously we'd have to make some changes, like some big changes. But yeah, I don't know if it. I don't think it matters. But yeah, I would hope not. Because I definitely don't want to leave this gym.
Cool. We're about to run out of time. Couple of things. Where can people find you online if they want to follow you and support you?
Instagram, Lorenz.aaa. Facebook, Lorenz Araneda. That's about it. Or you could, if you guys want to go watch my fights, Eternal MMA, their live streams are on YouTube, and just type in my name, Lorenz Araneda.
That's pretty sweet. Have you got any words of wisdom or anything you want to leave the audience with?
If anyone's struggling with depression or anxiety, or they feel a bit overweight or just self-conscious, come to MMA. Start MMA. Start any type of fighting, boxing, Muay Thai, kickboxing, MMA. Just do it, or even get into a gym. Just do it, and you'll feel amazing.
That's pretty good words of wisdom. Well, thanks for coming on the show. Did you have fun?
Oh, I had an amazing time. I'd definitely like to come on again if I could. But yeah, I had an awesome time. I appreciate it. Thank you.
No worries. Yeah, when you're world champion or champion of Australia, I'd be like, I'd come back on and be like, no, I'm too cool for you. That show, God, that was a couple of years ago. I'm famous now. I don't need to know you. Oh, classic. All right, I'll do the little wrap up. Well, yeah, that's a wrap. I'd like to thank Lorenz again for coming on the show. And I'd like to thank you, the listener, for listening. Please tell a friend about the podcast and have a fantastic day. All right, bye.
See ya.
All right, thanks for that. That turned out sweet.
All good, man. That was awesome. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. That was fun.
No worries. Well, yes, what I'll do now is I might just chuck that up on YouTube now. And if I
Yeah.
don't go to the gym, I might smash this out, go to the gym after. So yeah, I'll pop this up on YouTube, check it out all up on Spotify. So it should be all up by at least this afternoon. And I'll send you a
Okay.
DM and I'll check in my stories and tag you in. And if you can share it on your stories, social media, just tell all your
Yeah.
family, friends to check it out. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it. Sweet.
All right, legend.
Appreciate
All
that,
right.
man.
No worries. All right, I'll let
Have a
you
good.
go.
All right, have a good one, man. See you
You too,
later.
bye.